all about Mr. Francis?
An unknown quantity, I think we can safely say, but came through qualifying last night, the host nation qualifier, one of the 4 locals to do so, flying the red and white flag of Gibraltar this evening, and looking to join, of course, Dylan Parody.
Dyson Parody.
There we go. I've made a hybrid of Dyson Parody, who, of course, booked his place in the second round earlier today. But this is a very, very tall order indeed for David Francis. As you say, Gerwyn Price is in good form, claiming his maiden Players' Championship victory in Barnsley last Sunday, beating Peter Wright 6-3 in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Must be a headline in there about the price being right.
Game on!
Oh yeah, this isn't just us being lazy, not having a great deal of information on David
We
Francis.
have
We've looked, we've tried, we've spoken to people. There's just not much out there. All I can tell you is he tried to qualify for the Gibraltar Darts Trophy here last year, failed to do so. He came through the qualifying field of 23 players last night for this year's tournament, along with George Federico. Dyson Parody, we've already seen today, booked his place in the second round.
100.
And of course, Anthony Lopez, who failed to make it through.
I did scour the streets of the old town earlier today and did a quick informal vox pop and
Just asking
asked
around.
people, I said, does the name David Francis mean anything to you? Everybody else
30.
said no.
No,
It
just no.
did not register anything at all, not even a flicker of emotion.
Well, I think conclusive proof there that he is, as you say, an unknown quantity.
131.
Wonder dart from Gerwyn Price to find the treble there, and he's left himself 130 rather than 170 a single 20 would have left. I'm not sure if you can actually hear the music that is blasting out behind us. It might have been picked up on the
45.
microphones, but
Going to require 130.
it has suddenly started in the last 25 minutes. I'm reliably informed as Gerwyn Price looks at treble 20 and he won't get it, so he'll just look to set this up. But I'm reliably informed in the building just opposite us, they're holding rehearsals for Mrs. Gibraltar.
Mrs. Gibraltar.
Not Miss Gibraltar, Mrs. Gibraltar.
So you have to be married to enter
A
this.
married beauty pageant in Gibraltar. This is the random weird world of the European Tour, particularly
95.
on this rock stuck on the end of Spain.
Let me get this straight. I am sitting in a van
Yes.
watching European Tour darts. To my right, as well as you, I have
20.
Mrs. Gibraltar going on.
Yeah,
On
but soon
stage
to
we
be,
have
yeah.
European Tour darts. We have the Iceman taking on an unknown quantity. And to my left we have the final final round of matches in the Gibraltar Football League season.
Yeah. No, none of this makes any sense, Malarkey. Don't question it.
83.
David Francis absolutely nowhere near. He's left himself a bogey number, and Gerwyn Price takes out double 10 and puts him out of his misery in this leg. So it's 1-0 to the Welshman.
Game on.
Well, Gerwyn Price was beaten by Josh Payne in the first round of Players' Championship 6 on the Saturday of last weekend, before winning the final against Peter Wright the following day. So it was a mixed weekend for him.
66.
Yeah, Josh Payne, the other guy, went on to win. So Gerwyn Price is gone there. The only game he's lost is to the guy who won on the Saturday,
yeah.
and then Gerwyn won on the Sunday.
60.
I have to say, that's not a bad weekend for Gerwyn.
No. £16,000 in prize money, I assume, for that? Oh, sorry, 10,000 for winning one and
Yes.
Sorry.
An extra...
an extra few quid for
Yeah.
the other ones that he took behind.
Now then, David Francis. Oh, misses out on the maximum. There we go. Appreciative crowd here in the Victoria Stadium.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Price had a
46.
very lucrative 2015, or fairly lucrative, thanks in large to that run, as he said, to the last 8 of the World Match Play in July. Picked up 17,500 for that, beating Michael Smith and Adrian Lewis on the way before that defeat by
60.
Peter Wright. 75 grand or so he picked up last year in the calendar year 2015. Made the last 8 here as well in Gibraltar in March of last year,
99.
beating Robert Thornton and Simon Whitlock before losing to Jamie Price 6-5. Jamie Price or Jamie Lewis? Sorry, Jamie Lewis.
Jamie Lowe, I was going to say.
All over the shop tonight with my names.
40.
We knew what you meant. This is his first Euro Tour of the year, though. Failed to make it to Venray and Munich. Oh, well, Gerwyn. He started strongly in this match, and this leg has been...
36.
Oh, not great. He's still not out of it. He's 65 points behind. Francis just wants to set this up. He's more than 30, you would think.
60.
60, sorry. Oh, this could hurt. This could really hurt. Decent response from Gerwyn Price. Leaves himself Shanghai. A lot easier to take out than the 135. Francis will look at the bullseye first. And he's absolutely nowhere near it.
He's lost his rhythm and his way here.
Going to require 120.
Price with a great chance for a break of throw here. Even if he misses this Shanghai, which he might not do. Double tops he wants for a 2-0 lead.
Game John, the
brilliant
second
again.
leg. Gerwyn Price.
That's very eye-catching indeed.
Oh, he's
Third
taken out
leg, going to
260
front
in 6
first.
starts there. That is
Game on.
top stuff. And if David Francis was unsure of the size of the task that faces him, I think that might underline it.
82.
Played Ali Pali a couple of times, Gerwyn Price, in his fledgling darts career. Went out in round 1 on both occasions. Has failed to win a set. Has lost to two of the most striking and eye-catching players in world darts, in Peter Snakebite Wright and Goldfinger Andrew Gilding.
100.
It's not that long ago that Gerwyn Price was still playing rugby. Has he played both codes of rugby? Am I right in saying
He
that?
has played both codes of rugby, yeah. I think he was predominantly a
85.
rugby union player. But he has played league. He was a hooker in rugby union.
174.
Just underlines the talent he has. I mean,
Yeah, he's very versatile, isn't he? And, you know, to make that shift in career and to do it so well, to make a success of it.
140. Going to require 145.
Well, we feared this might be a whitewash for David Francis, and it could well be that Gerwyn Price
85.
opens up a 3-0 lead here when he next returns to the Oki. Price also made the semi-finals of another Players' Championship event earlier this year as well, so he's had a really good time of
41.
it of late.
Going to require 60.
yeah, he's had a quarter-final, a semi-final, a final and a win this year. You know, he's won nearly 30 grand in prize money this year
50.
already. That's a missed opportunity, but Francis is looking at the 135. He'll go for the bull, and he'll hope that he's a lot closer than last time when he hit somewhere near the treble 7. That is close, and it's a good guide if you can find the treble 20. And he has, and how about this? David Francis, 135. Unlucky.
Unlucky.
104.
Good effort, sterling effort, David Francis.
Yes, an ovation from the crowd inside the Victoria Stadium.
Fine score.
Oh, and he is going to get more
Going
darts.
to
And
require 30.
David Francis to get a leg on the board.
Now, will he go
A break of throw at that.
double 80 once then? Some way inside, double 4 for a leg on the board.
27.
Not to be.
Going to require 5.
Absolutely plumb in the middle of the one, just below the wire. And that one
Game
is
John, the
inside
third
the
leg.
wire.
Gerwyn Price.
And Gerwyn Price
Fourth leg,
punishing David
front
Francis.
first. Game on.
To devastating effect there. Had a chance to get a leg on the board, didn't take it. Price gobbled it up, 3-0 he leads.
Well, when David Francis came through the qualifiers last night, he'll have been telling himself, you know, if I go and play my game and play how I can, I'll be able to give Gerwyn Price a game here. It has not gone according to plan.
92.
I think the longer it goes on without him getting a leg on the ball, the harder it's going to be for him to relax and play his best darts. You never know. Strange things happen in this game, though. Maybe David Francis will kick in.
60.
Remember Rene Idams at the World Championship, an unknown quantity, little stout German fella taking on Michael van Gerwen, was getting absolutely battered all over the place and came back and
Nearly pulled off the unthinkable. Winner of this, by the way, faces Simon Whitlock in the second round tomorrow. That's certainly a winnable encounter, you'd feel, for Gerwyn Price, assuming he goes on to finish the job here.
Well, Gerwyn's, you know, he's a top 32 player
41.
now. He must be absolutely full of confidence following his maiden win in the PDC. He's not a man who lacks confidence anyway. There was a very
99.
amusing social media, I don't know what you call it, a spat maybe, with Gerwin sat at home, as many of us are on a Thursday night, watching the Premier League darts, as David Francis looks to fill it up, and a 140 getting to a finish. And Gary Anderson had just said about MVG, oh, I'm here to try and muck up his career. And
58.
oh, yeah, I like a bit of fighting talk. It's really good. But then the Iceman pointed out that the difference between Gary and Michael van Gerwen, in his opinion, was that Michael van Gerwen does it all the time. Gary Anderson does it every now and again, like the World Championship and the Premier League. Good times to do it. Unfortunately, if you start saying anything about Gary Anderson, the entirety of Scotland descends upon you. There were words had, things were said, tweets flung around. But the upshot is that Gerwin Price says, I've only been playing a short while, who knows what could happen, I could be world champion. And right now he's looking like he's going to get the better of David Francis, because Francis is not really worried the doubles there. Double top for Gerwin Price, 4-0, and double break, now double 10. Wow, another chance. David Francis, can you seize upon it?
20.
Big puff of the cheeks from Francis as he steps up. Double 10, he wants to get a leg on the board. Double 5. Oh, now then.
No score.
He's bust that, so
Going you require
question
20.
is, will he return? Yes, he will.
15.
And he's thrown that out the board. He's thrown to bust it, and he's done it in haste, and he's thrown it out the board. And Gerwin Price has kind of, I hesitate to call it unprofessional, but it's not clever.
No.
And he might end up paying the penalty for it.
No score.
Well, not on this
Going you
occasion, but we
require
shall
5.
see. Because he's not left himself 20. He got 2 darts at double 2. He hit it earlier on, pretty much exactly there before he found the double, and
One
now he
score.
doesn't. So, look, he's cost himself darts at a double there, Gerwin Price. And if he
20.
loses this leg, then he's kind of partly to blame for it.
The architect of his own downfall, I'd feel here. But David Francis really struggling with his doubles now. Double 5, one more bite at
10
it.
score.
Not to be. 27 darts
Going
he's
you
had
require 4.
in this leg. Price on 24.
Game
Surely
shot,
he'll
the full flag.
get the job done now, and he
Aaron
does.
Price. Fifth leg
And
going
after
to throw
25 darts,
first.
Gerwin Price gets
Game
over
on.
the line and leads 4-0. David Francis looking like a player who just simply wants to get off
60.
stage as quickly as possible here. Now he's got a drop in body language. You can see the shoulders drooping.
Flyer.
One
Good adjustment
round,
though.
foul.
Well, David Francis, that takes some bottle, having a couple of legs like that where you've missed chance after chance to then steel yourself. You're obviously
60.
a massive underdog. You're getting an absolute hiding from an established pro player. Firing a ton 40, why not? Come on, do it again. Give Gerwin something to think about here.
60.
Just a 60.
Just to put some more meat on the bones as far as the Adrian Lewis news is concerned as well. He was seeded 8 for this
81.
tournament, so it means that it's well, one of the obstacles removed for Michael van Gerwen potentially, because Lewis would have been a quarter-final or a prospective quarter-final opponent for van Gerwen on Sunday.
45.
So Lewis out of the way. That's in the top quarter. Max Hopp handed a bye. He'll play Class nor Parody in the last
30.
16.
David Francis has stolen the darts here. 14 points ahead, plus these. 15 points ahead. Yeah, missed opportunity, I'm afraid, and Gerwin Price certainly looking decent now to go on and claim this leg and go within 1 of the whitewash. That's a maximum. First one of the match. And just when you think David Francis has got a chance to try and get something on the board, that's a good response.
Going to require 90.
It is, yeah.
In the 25. Oh, finds the treble. And the double, and Gerwyn Price throws his arms up in exasperation. Where was that finishing for the last couple of legs? But he gets the job done. Takes out 90 quite expertly, really. When you finish the last 2 legs on double 2, it must be a relief. But it is 5-0, and David Francis has got to hold his throw. Otherwise, he suffers the indignity of a whitewash. We've seen 6-0 defeats for a number of Gibraltarian players over the course of this tournament in the last... Well, this is the 4th year it's being held. David Francis would love not to be classed among them. It's looking an uphill battle at the minute, it has to be said.
60. 56. 45.
Just not landing any significant punches here, David Francis. Even with Price struggling somewhat in this particular leg, but he's down to 248.
Well, Gibraltar darts fans do know they'll have Dyson Parody to look forward to in the second round tomorrow. They may yet have another Gibraltarian player there. Doesn't look like it's going to be David Francis, but George Federico is coming up this evening. Two-time Gibraltar national champion, no less.
78.
But he's got a tall order on his plate as well. Alan Norris, World Championship quarter-finalist, newcomer of the year as well, voted for by the PDC.
140.
Federico may well go the same way as David Francis here.
Oh, hang about. Oh, not very far away.
105. David required
But Gerwyn Price has left himself 65 for the match and a 6-0 whitewash. David Francis is not going to take out the 155, just in case there are any lingering doubts that it might happen. And Gerwyn Price, to tidy this up, a 65 checkout for a 6-0 win. There's the 25.
45.
Oh, wow.
David require 114.
David Francis, some possible chance of redemption, respect, anything. Treble 18.
58.
So it'll be double 10. He hit it last leg. Gerwyn Price, can he hit it now for a 6-0 win? Yes, he can. And that is not going to go down in the history books as the greatest game ever played by Gerwyn Price. I can assure you there will be many that he does have marked down as superb efforts, because this man has a huge amount of talent, but he's just waltzed through to the second